Once you've picked a general topic for your paper, you need to come up with a thesis. Your thesis is the main and focal point of your paper and is the position you will take on particular topic. Formulating a strong thesis is one of the most important things you need to do to ace a paper. Once you pick a general topic for your paper, you need to come up with a thesis. Your thesis is the main and focal point of your paper and is the position you will take on your particular topic. Formulating a strong thesis is one of the most important things you need to do to ace a paper. Many papers you write in college will require you to include quotes from one or more sources. Even if you don't have to do it, integrating a few quotes into your writing can add life and persuasiveness to your arguments. The key is to use quotes to support a point you are trying to make rather than just include a few pages. Persuasiveness. Many papers you write in college will require you to include quotes from one or more sources. Even if you don't have to do it, integrating a few quotes into your writing can add life and persuasiveness to your arguments. The key is to use quotes to support a point you are trying to make rather than just include them to fill space. Networking is easy and fun because it taps into human predilection to talk about ourselves when asked. Consider successful networking as little more than the process of guiding a person to tell about his life, what he's doing, the company that employs him, and his current industry. Predilection. Networking is easy and fun because it taps into this human predilection to talk about ourselves when asked. Consider successful networking as little more than the process of guiding a person to tell you about his life, what he's doing, the company that employs him, and his current industry. Although Botswana's economic outlook remains strong, the devastation that AIDS has caused threatens to destroy the country's future. In 2001, Botswana has the highest rate of HIV infection in the world. With the help of international donors, it launched an ambitious national campaign that provides free antiviral drugs to anyone who needed them. And by March 2004, Botswana's infection rate had dropped significantly. Although Botswana's economic outlook remains strong, the devastation that AIDS has caused threatens to destroy the economy's country future. In 2001, Botswana had the highest rate of HIV infection in the world. With the help of international donors, it launched an ambitious national campaign that provides free antiviral drugs to anyone who needed them, and by 2004, Botswana's infection had dropped significantly. Over centuries, the holiday involved, and by the 18th century, giving and exchanging handmade cards on Valentine's Day had become common in England. Handmade Valentine's cards made by lace, ribbons, and featuring cupids and hearts eventually spread to the American colonies. The tradition of Valentine's card did not become widespread in the United States, however, until the 1850s. Over the centuries, the holiday evolved, and by the 18th century, giving and exchanging handmade cards on Valentine's Day had become more common in England. Handmade Valentine's cards made of lace, ribbons, and featuring cupids and hearts, eventually spread to the American colonies. The tradition of Valentine's cards did not become widespread in the United States, however, until the 1850s. Thompson recognized and exploited all the ingredients of successful amusement ride. Wright Judith A. Adams in the American amusement park industry. His coasters combined an appearance of danger with actual safety, thrill riders with exhilarating speed, and allowed the public to intimately experience the Industrial Revolution, new technology gears intimately. Thompson recognized and exploited all the ingredients of a successful amusement ride. Writes Judith Adams in the American amusement park industry. His coasters combined an appearance of danger with actual safety, thrill riders with exhilarating speed, and allow the public to intimately experience the Industrial Revolution's new technologies of gears, steel, and dazzling electric lights. For centuries, Atlantis had been one of the Western world's favorite legends, a tantalizing blend of fantasy and mystery. Stories tell of a rich and glorious empire that was lost to the sea, where some hope its ruins still lie, waiting to be discovered. For centuries, Atlantis has been one of the Western world's favorite legends, a tantalizing blend of fantasy and mystery. Stories tell of a rich and glorious empire that was lost to the sea, where some hope its ruins still lie, waiting to be discovered.
Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture.
Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor.
Tutorials are held for 2 hours every Thursday during semester.
Tutorial is held every 2 hours during semester on Thursday.
International students can get help with locating housing near the university.
The university can get help from the housing.
The student welfare officer can help with questions about exam technique.
The student officer can help with the exam techniques.
Most of the students were not able to attend Professor Green's seminar.
Most of the students cannot attend to exams.
Some of the references in the essay were old and out of date.
Some of reference in the essay were out of date.
We will divide the class into 3 discussion groups.
We will divide the class into 3 discussion groups.
Every student in the class passed the exam without trouble.
Every student in the class passed the exam without trouble.
There is more detail in the table on page 5.
There are more detail in the table in page 5.
You can get to the college by bus, train, or car.
You can get to the college by bus, train, or car.
We should divide the assignment into 3 parts and work together.
We should divide the assignment to 3 parts and work together. The picture represents Spanish-speaking countries by population. According to the picture, Chile, Peru. Okay, population. The picture represents Spanish-speaking countries by population. According to the picture, the population of Mexico contributes the maximum, which can be seen at nearly 90 million people. In contrast, the Chile contributes the minimum, which can be seen on nearly 10 million people. According to the picture showing crucial information with different facts and figures, such as Spain and Argentina, have different great impact on Mexico, United States, and Venezuela. Sky, cloud, building, roof. The picture represents the big building in the sky. According to the picture, the building contributes the maximum, which can be seen on the towers of the building. In contrast, the road contributes the minimum, which can be seen in the bottom of the picture. In addition, the picture showing crucial information with different facts and figures, such as sky and air. In conclusion, the picture showing crucial information having great impact on white and blue. The picture showing the daily processor chip output. According to the picture, chips produce day maximum. The picture showing daily processor chip output. According to the picture, the Friday contributes the maximum, which can see on 18 chips produced. In contrast, the Sunday contributes the minimum, which can see on 0 chips produced. According to the picture, it's showing crucial information with different facts and figures, such as chip produced and days. In conclusion, the picture showing crucial information have great impact on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Timetable: Monday, semester 1, 9 a.m. Psychology lecture, lunch, English literature. The picture represents timetable for Monday in semester 1. According to the picture, the introductory statistics contribute the maximum, which can be seen on 9 a.m. In contrast, Psychology 1 in lecture contribute the minimum, which can be seen on 10 a.m. According to the picture showing crucial information with different facts and figures, such as 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. In conclusion, the picture showing crucial information with different facts and figures having great impact on lunch, English tutorial, and economics. According to the pictures, mode of travel to university for second year student. Total respondents 100. Travel by train, travel by car. The picture showing mode of the travel to university for second year students. According to the picture, the travel by train contributing the maximum. In contrast, the travel by car contributes the minimum, which can see in 30. In addition, the picture showing crucial information with different facts and figures such as total respondents 10 and 60s. In conclusion, the picture showing crucial information having great impact on 130. The picture showing members of management team, director, assistant director. Okay, business development. The picture represents members of management team. According to the picture, the director contributes the maximum which can be seen on the top. In the contrast, the assistant to director contributes the minimum which can be seen under the director. In addition, the picture showing crucial information with different facts and figures having great impact on marketing manager. In conclusion, the picture showing crucial information with different facts and figures such as business development manager and customer relations manager. Undergraduate literature, Science Labs, Thomas Mann Library, Spot Fields, Rectangle, white, brown. The picture represents the map of the school. According to the picture, the undergraduate lecture theaters is contributing the maximum which can be seen in the middle of the maps. In contrast, the science labs contribute the minimum which can be seen on the left of the map. In addition, the picture showing crucial information with different facts and figures such as spot fields and rectangle. In conclusion, the picture showing crucial information having great impact on white color and Thomas Mann Library.
The Human Development Index, HDI, published annually by the UN, ranks nations according to their citizens' quality of life rather than strictly by a nation's traditional economic figures. The criteria for calculating rankings include life expectancy, educational attainment, and adjusted real income. The most livable countries in 2006 were Norway, Iceland, Australia, Ireland, and Sweden.
The lecture saying the world's most livable country in 2006. According to the lecture, it's saying Norway, Iceland, Australia, and Ireland and Sweden is the most livable country. And also it's mentioned the nation economic figures contribute the maximum. On the other hand, the adjusted real income is in Sweden.
There once was a time in American history when the thought of women working for complex, multinational technology companies, giant advertising firms, and massive publishing houses was snickered at behind closed boardroom doors. Today, women are running those companies from some of those very same boardrooms. But although women make up almost half of America's labor force, as of 2005, only 8 Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs or presidents, and 67 of those 500 companies don't have any women corporate officers. Catalyst, the not-for-profit New York-based women's research organization, points out that its data shows a change over the last 10 years. In 1995, 8.7% of corporate officers in Fortune 500 companies were women. This percentage rose to 16.4% by 2005. While this is progress, they note that at this rate, it would take 40 years for the number of female corporate officers to match the number of male officers. For the few women who have reached the highest ranks, they'd prefer not to talk about their gender. To them, it's no longer an issue. Their accomplishments represent significant milestones, not just for women in business, but for women all over the world making career choices.
The picture showing women in the labor force. The picture represents the woman working in the international company. It also denotes that the woman runs that company, which is on half of the labor force in USA. But nowadays, not all of the company have the CEO is woman. It will take about 40 years for women to be like 50% of CEO of all the corporate officers. Women in all the world can be favorites.
More than 1 billion people in about 70 countries around the world observe Daylight Saving Time, DST, in some form. Here are interesting facts about some of these countries. Most of Canada uses Daylight Saving Time. Some exceptions include the majority of Saskatchewan and parts of northeastern British Columbia. In the fall of 2005, Manitoba and Ontario announced that, like the United States, they would extend daylight time starting in 2007. The Attorney General of Ontario commented that it is important to maintain Ontario's competitive advantage by coordinating time changes with our major trading partner and harmonising our financial, industrial, transportation and communications links. Other provinces have indicated that they may also follow suit. It wasn't until 1996 that our NAFTA neighbours in Mexico adopted DST. Now all 3 Mexican time zones are on the same schedule as the United States.
The lecture saying about the daily saving in United States and Mexican. The Canada mostly use daily saving in the majority of entire Canada. The majority of US extended daylight saving in 2007. It also denotes that the time change will not affect the industrial of the economics. And in 1996, Mexican time zone is almost as usual as the United States.
Who would you consult to treat a fear of crowded places? A philosopher or a psychologist?
Psychologist.
How would most people travel to work each day in big cities like Hong Kong, Tokyo, and New York?
By train.
Would a supermarket, a cafe, or a bookstore probably have the widest range of products available?
Supermarket.
In which room of their home would someone usually wash their clothes?
Laundry room.
Despite all the advances in equality between the sexes, would more men or women play professional football?
Men.
Which major branch of science deals with classification of living things?
In most university courses, there are 2 ways of being assessed. One is orally, the other is through
Verbally. Verbally.
Name a month that falls between September and November.
October.
Would a town, a village, or a city probably cover the largest area?
A town.
Which of these would probably be found in most homes around the world? A computer, a bed, or a television?
A bed.
What does the main difference between a wristwatch and a clock relate to?
Time.